A Colorado district attorney has officially been removed for office. She lost her law license, which means she can't be DA. Potential harm to the election systems. New documents warning of insider threats in Colorado from people with power.
It's a really terrible process that was done here.
And the city of Denver is walking back promises of safer bike lanes. Cyclists are protesting now those demands and answers. The embattled district attorney who prosecuted the Barry Morphew murder case has now been removed from office. A branch of the Colorado Supreme Court took away Linda Stanley's law license yesterday for a long list of ethical violations. Without a law license, she can't be DA. Thanks so much for joining us this Saturday evening. I'm Mark Salinger. Stanley was at the center of a closely watched murder case in Chaffee County when she brought charges against Barry Morphew back in 2021. From there, court documents reveal she withheld evidence, made inappropriate comments about cases to the press, and even launched a secret investigation into the judge in the case as retribution for his rulings. She ended up dropping murder charges against Morphew before the case even went to trial. I spoke with former Judge Ramsey Lama about Stanley's conduct last month.
That's what makes this more egregious. This was an elected DA, the head of the district attorney's office. I mean, she's arguably the most powerful, influential law enforcement authority within this judicial district.
As far as we know, Linda Stanley is the first district attorney here in Colorado to lose her law license and be removed from office without first resigning. The district court judge appointed Jeff Lindsay to fill her role as DA until the new term starts in January. Lindsay is also running unopposed to be DA permanently in the election that'll happen next week. Speaking of the election, we are now 3 days away from Election Day. A new intelligence memo here in Colorado details the potential for insider threats, people with access to election systems using their power to cause harm. It could be on purpose or completely inadvertent. I got a hold of the bulletin sent to law enforcement. In a 10-page bulletin shared earlier this month, the Colorado Information Analysis Center warns of insider threats that could impact the 2024 election. They could derail or jeopardize a fair and transparent election process, the memo states. It was shared with county clerks, law enforcement, and the Secretary of State. The focus is on making sure the people who run our elections or have access to sensitive information don't use the power in the wrong way.
So it is top of mind. We're doing everything we can to mitigate it.
Matt Crane is a Republican and the head of the Colorado County Clerks Association.
It absolutely keeps me up at night, especially when we still have the former president spreading lies about 2020 and elections after that.
Earlier this month, Crane spoke at the sentencing hearing for former Republican Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters. She was sentenced to 9 years behind bars for orchestrating a scheme to breach the county's voting systems to try and prove voter fraud.
I mean, looking back now at Tina, the signs were pretty obvious. She skipped out on trainings. She never tried to learn what really happens in our elections. She stayed incredibly political on social media. And so that made her an easy target when you have bad actors looking for somebody to do something like Tina did.
The bulletin, published by a branch of the Colorado Department of Public Safety, now gives all county clerks warning signs to look for to try and spot election workers trying to cause harm. Red flags like attempting to destroy ballots, turning off security cameras, or remotely accessing computers at unexpected times.
It feels like we're sitting on a tinderbox right now, where there are forces converging, leading us to a place where there could be violence, physical altercations, that kind of thing.
So that bulletin was published by a branch of the Colorado Department of Public Safety, working with Homeland Security as well as emergency management. It details a long list of threats from swatting to terrorism to potential for civil war following the election. Honestly, it's quite scary. At this point, the Colorado Department of Public Safety does not have any credible threat or targeted violence on any polling places or election workers here in Colorado. So let's put some context to this. Earlier this week, we found out that partial passwords for Colorado's voting machines were posted online for months. Those passwords have been changed now, and we're told that there is no threat to election security or the 2024 election here in Colorado. Kyle Clark spoke with the Secretary of State earlier this week and asked her if the actions of the people in her office constituted an insider threat.
You do frequent media interviews warning of the insider threats to elections. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security defines an insider threat as somebody who uses authorized access wittingly or unwittingly to do harm. Did the actions of your office pose an insider threat to elections?
No.
Griswold went on to say that Colorado's elections have multiple layers of security. Even if someone did have the passwords posted online, they wouldn't be able to access the voting systems because they would need other passwords and credentials. Griswold told us the person who posted the passwords online no longer holds that position. We don't know if they were transferred or fired. Immigration agents say 2 Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang members are in custody in Aurora. They'll be sent to Texas, where they're wanted for murder and kidnapping. This week, the Farmers Branch Police Department in the Dallas area put out an alert as they searched for Jonathan Gonzalez and Carlos Bolivar. They're accused of killing a 33-year-old in Texas. ICE says both were first caught in Texas last year after entering the U.S. illegally, released from custody, and then arrested again in Aurora on September 26th of this year. We're just finding out about it now. Again, both men are now in ICE custody. The gang has gotten a lot of attention here in Colorado, of course, as claims that they'd taken over apartment buildings in Aurora went viral online. Moving up to the high country, ski season is finally here. Opening day for A-Basin and Keystone. This is a live look at Keystone right now at the end of the first day of the season. Not a whole lot of terrain open just yet, but hey, school marm's looking pretty good over Lake Dillon right there. 30 minutes before Keystone first chair took up the mountain, Arapahoe Basin also got their season started. We were able to capture that moment. Take a look. Pretty sure it's always the same 2 people that wait in line for the first chair at A-Basin every year. That was when Black Mountain Express started turning just before 8:30 this morning to get the season started. People lined up, of course, cooked breakfast in the lift line. It was a party up there. Recent cold temperatures, of course, helped snowmakers finally make enough snow to open one run. And then hopefully later on this year, they'll be able to get more terrain open. I want to bring in 9 News meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen joining us this evening because, Corey, talking about snow, it's time to start thinking about it, especially down here in the city even.
Exactly. You know, they say good things come to those who wait, and I think we waited long enough for winter to finally come, and we've got a really nice winter pattern developing. Pretty excited over the next 6 days. Could be very wintry, even down here in Denver. Here's the headlines that we're tracking, your impact headlines. The snowy weather pattern could go all the way into Saturday morning. The first storm starts on Sunday night and goes into Monday morning. We could get our first snow of the year here in Denver, and the main impact for that first storm is going to be the foothills between about 7,000 and 9,000 feet. We could be looking at some pretty significant snow out of this storm system. There it is, just out to our west. Will start impacting us tonight, but we won't see too much in the way, just light snow in parts of the mountains. It won't be until Sunday night that we get started. So your forecast highs tomorrow, not looking too bad here in the 50s on the Front Range, 30s and 40s up in the mountains. And here's your timeline for Sunday. We'll see some sunshine early, starting to cloud up later on in the afternoon tomorrow, and we'll see a mix of precipitation scattered overnight into the mountains, but about 1, 2 o'clock really picks up here. We get some pretty significant snow in the mountains here about in between 4 and 6 o'clock. We could get some rain showers out here on the Front Range initially tomorrow night, and then tomorrow night it changes into snow here for a lot of us here in the Denver metro area, where we could get some snow flurries and some significant snow in parts of the area here coming up on Monday morning. And then by about 11 o'clock on Monday, it is out of there, that first storm. So we'll talk more about this storm and the storms that are still to come coming up in the forecast in just a minute.